What's going on, you guys? It's your man James, aka JP, back again with another Toy Room Arcade1Up video. And as you guys saw by the title, the thumbnail, you can see right behind me, it is time. I got my hands on the Marvel Super Heroes cabinet, and I need to send a huge shout out to Christina and all my friends and family. My birthday is coming up on Wednesday, and Christina set up a surprise birthday party and got everybody who came to pitch in so they could all get me the Marvel Super Heroes cabinet, which was just incredible. So thank you to all of you. You guys are awesome. Now, I got a few things to get out of the way before we get started, so I'll leave a timestamp right here if you guys want to just skip to the review portion of this video. But it took me like 8 hours to fit this in and set it up, between assembling this, assembling a new shelf that I had to buy to fit everything in. Yeah, it's crazy. Everything to the right of me is completely changed, and I will have a room tour coming up this week, probably Wednesday, and I will be streaming gameplay of this cabinet probably Wednesday night. So the video of the room tour should be probably Wednesday morning or afternoon maybe, and then the stream will be at night. Wednesday is my birthday, so we are gonna do a stream on my birthday to kind of celebrate, so I can hang out with you guys for a little bit. So that is going to be awesome. Now, as far as the review for this video, you know, with Arcade1Up, they're all essentially the same, and what I mean by that is like the cabinets, they're all the same premise. So if you've liked or loved Arcade1Up in the past, then you're going to love or like this cabinet, especially if you love the games that come on it. If you never really have liked Arcade1Up products in the past, and this probably isn't going to change your mind, just kind of wanted to throw that out there. And as far as the review, like I said, it's all the same premise. The only difference is the games that come included. So I'm really going to explain and compare the differences, because there are a lot of differences with this cabinet as far as like the upgrades that they made to it from the Wave 1 and Wave 2 of cabinets. And as you guys can see, I do have the Street Fighter cabinet. You guys know I have the Final Fight cabinet that used to be behind me in my videos, and that's off to the side. So we'll kind of compare how they've changed from Wave 1, Wave 2, and then now Wave 3, because I have one from each wave. So I think that's pretty much it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the review of this Marvel Super Heroes cabinet. Now, it is beautiful. It is absolutely amazing. I wasn't a big fan of all the blue, like the blue T-molding, the blue on the control deck, the blue just everywhere. I felt like it was too much blue, but actually having it in hand, it's not that bad. I was kind of leaning towards wanting the limited edition cabinet, but again, it was $400 and I didn't really have a choice. This was a surprise, and I'm in love with this one anyway. So the blue wasn't that big of an issue once I finally saw it in person. It actually worked very, very nice. Now, like I mentioned before, it took me like 8 hours to kind of fit this in here and set everything up, and I forgot that I needed to shoot some B-roll footage of the side artwork to show you guys, and I didn't feel like pulling the cabinet out and trying to redo the whole setup. So here's a picture of the side artwork, and it is beautiful. It is incredible, and I'm gonna say it's hands down the best artwork that we have for the Arcade1Up cabinet, with Mortal Kombat coming in second, but this is just amazing. The artwork on the side with Thanos and Dr. Doom, man, it's just incredible. Blue T-molding on the sides is amazing. The control deck with the comic book graphics on it and the side bezels and everything, just phenomenal, amazing. And like I said, I really, really love the look of this cabinet. Overall, aesthetically, it looks amazing. The marquee is amazing as well. Just everything about the way this cabinet looks, I am absolutely in love with. So now for the controls of this cabinet, it's essentially like, when I say the controls, like the buttons and the joysticks, the way they feel just like Wave 2 did. They feel completely different from Wave 1. Wave 1 had that springy press when you press down on it. Wave 2 didn't have that. It felt more solid. If you have the Final Fight cabinet or any cabinets from Wave 2, these buttons are gonna feel exactly the same. It doesn't look like they changed anything for them, which is a good thing in my opinion. I love the way that the Wave 2 cabinets feel. Wave 1, initially when Wave 2 came out, I didn't know how to feel about it because I was so used to Wave 1, but now going back to the Wave 1 with just kind of the springiness and kind of clickiness of the buttons, I wasn't a big, not that I'm not a big fan of, because there's nothing wrong with them, but it's definitely an improvement on Wave 2 and Wave 3 here. So again, if you guys have the Final Fight cabinet or Mortal Kombat or anything else from that wave, you guys will be familiar with how the buttons feel on this one. Now this cabinet has a recessed screen, so the screen kind of tilts back a little bit to make the viewing angles better when you're playing standing up, and it's a big improvement, and it's a noticeable difference, especially when you compare it side by side to the Street Fighter or anything else from Wave 1 or Wave 2. It is definitely an improvement, but you're gonna want to make sure you guys have the riser to get the best effect out of it, because you guys know I have my little like homemade makeshift riser, and the angle is still good, but it definitely needs to be taller for me to get the benefit of having that recessed screen a little bit, but definitely much improved there. Better viewing angles for sure when you're playing standing up. And speaking of that screen, wow, the screen on this cabinet is so much brighter and so much sharper than the past screens from the past cabinets, man. It was such an improvement. It almost looked like it was like HD, kind of, just how crispy the text was, how crispy the animation was, just everything graphically on this cabinet. Phenomenal. The screen, whatever screen that they upgraded to, whatever screen that they used, they definitely need to use that screen going forward, because it was just such a big improvement, and I'm definitely a big fan of that screen. And they also upgraded the speakers, and they actually moved the speaker location. So before, the speaker used to be in the control deck, and it used to be just one single speaker, but now they actually upgraded the speakers to right under the marquee, and it's a dual speaker setup. And inside the cabinet, the speakers connect with an aux cord, so if you wanted to upgrade the speakers, if you wanted to add your own, like just for instance here, I have this JBL speaker here, which actually has a ton of bass, so if I wanted to just take an aux cord and run it from here into the cabinet, I could do that and have a speaker upgrade like that. So that is one really cool feature that I love, and I know a ton of people have already modded or are planning to mod their cabinets for these speaker upgrades, but that is a really great idea right there. So having that aux cord just makes your speaker upgrade possibilities, your mods, just endless, because you can do whatever you want. You can put a subwoofer in it if you want. I saw Retro Ralph put a giant, like, big, I forgot, like a 10-inch subwoofer in his Turtles cabinet. So you can go crazy with it, just having the ability of that aux cord, just amazing. But the speakers that come on the stock cabinet aren't bad at all. They actually do have a little bit of bass to them. Obviously it's not going to be anything mind-blowing, but it still sounds really good, and definitely a way bigger improvement than the past cabinets that we've had. Another improvement with the speakers is the volume of the speakers. So previously we've only had two volume settings, or I guess three. You've had off, low, and I say low in quotations because it was still loud, and then high, which was just like extremely loud. Those were the only settings you had. On this new cabinet, I think it's like you have 15 or 20 settings. It works just like a TV would. So you just have a little rocker, and you just rock it up and rock it down. And like I said, I think there's maybe like 15 or 20 different volume settings, and even on the lowest volume it's still pretty decent. It's not like crazy loud like the past cabinets were, but it's still decent volume all the way through, so really happy about that. And one thing that I did do, I did swap out the bat tops on them. So they came with black bat tops. I felt like the black was just a little out of place because the rest of the cabinet is so vibrant and so colorful, so I switched it with a blue and a red one for player 1 and player 2. I think that looks a little bit better. I was gonna do both blue to kind of go with the blue of the cabinet, but I think that would have been a little overkill on the blue. So I like the blue and red. I like how it contrasts with the blue of the control deck and kind of goes with the flow of the actual buttons on here. So let me know what you guys think about that. I think it's a pretty good upgrade. Like I said, I just upgraded the actual bat tops themselves. I haven't actually upgraded the joysticks, buttons, or anything like the octagons or whatever. So but yeah, I think it looks good. I forgot to mention is the new home screen. So as you guys can see, this is where you select the games. It's got a completely new menu and new sound effects. So when you switch between the games, you get that kind of whooshing effect, very comic book-esque. Very nice touch right there. And you also get a new sound effect when you actually enter the game, so you guys can take a listen. Now, as you guys can tell, I really love this cabinet. From the artwork to the controls to the screen, the speakers and everything like that. But I do have a few complaints, and they're just minor complaints. They're not anything that big. My first complaint is the artwork on the side. So the artwork is beautiful, but you can see it kind of just cuts off like right 3/4 of the way it just stops. I wish they would have just stretched the image out or just added some more stars to kind of just continue with the galaxy, you know, background that Thanos is in. I wish they would have did something because it looks so plain. Even the Marvel logo or the arcade one, just something on the side. It really bugs me that like 3/4 of the way we have the artwork and then it just stops and it's just blank. So I know someone's gonna make a decal or something to put there, and I'll probably consider picking that up, but at the same time, for me, it's not the biggest deal because, as you can see, I have against the wall here and another cabinet right against it right here. So I don't even really see the side artwork, but it still bugs me to know that it's there and it's blank, and I'll probably do something about it to sort of customize it in some way. But yeah, that's my complaint with that. And then the other complaint that I have is actually with the screen. So the bottom half of the screen, or like the bezel around the screen where it meets the control deck, and the past cabinets, the artwork for the bezel and the control deck, like they touch. There's no blank space. On this one, I think because the screen is recessed a little bit and pushed in, you have this black bar right there where the control deck and the bezel meets, and it's just a really big eyesore for me. I feel like every time I look at it, I feel like maybe I lined the cabinet up wrong, but even looking at the stock pictures online, that's how it looks, that's how it's supposed to look, and I don't like that. I wish the artwork just kind of continued on and there was no black bezel there, because that's really an eyesore for me, and I think that's my biggest complaint, because like I said, with the side art, I don't even see it as much, but being right there in the front with that bezel, you know, I'm staring at that area like the whole time. So yeah, it just really sucks about that. And this screen, as far as like the glass in front of the screen, or like, I don't know, that plastic in front of the screen, with previous cabinets, it's always been like scratched up or whatever a little bit. It doesn't affect gameplay and you don't even see it until the screen is completely black, but this one is flawless. No scratches on it whatsoever. I do have a piece of, I guess it's like dust or something stuck behind the screen, which is bothersome, and I noticed it after I put the cabinet together, and I didn't feel like disassembling it to clean it out. So it's not that big of a deal. It's in like the top right corner. You don't really see it, but yeah, it's really not that big of a deal. Once I started playing, I didn't even notice it. So like I said, no big deal there. And finally, as far as the games that come on here, I'm very familiar with Marvel Super Heroes and X-Men Children of the Atom. I put so much time into those games. Never the arcade versions, always the home ports, but still, I put so many hours into those games. I'm very familiar with those games. They play phenomenal, no lag, nothing like that. Like I said, you guys know what to expect with Arcade1Up. The Punisher I've never played before, and it's really, really fun. It's very violent as well. Like, you're picking up knives and just like stabbing people with it, and taking like machetes and stuff and like flinging them into people's heads. Very, very fun game. I've never played it before, and I'm definitely going to be spending a lot more time playing that on this cabinet. So yeah, that is pretty much it, man. That is my sort of review and like comparison from this cabinet to the past cabinets. Like I said, I will be showing off gameplay. I will be doing a live stream. I'm gonna say Wednesday night. I'm gonna stick to that. I'm gonna force myself to do it Wednesday night on my birthday. I'm gonna say 9 p.m., 9:30. I'll let you guys know as we get closer to Wednesday. But definitely look out for that. Look out for the room tour Wednesday morning / afternoon. I'm gonna have that posted. I may even do it tomorrow. We'll have to see how my schedule is. But yeah, definitely stay tuned for that. So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this review of the Marvel Super Heroes Arcade1Up cabinet. Again, a huge shout out to Christina, my family, and my friends, and everybody who pitched in to help me get this cabinet for my birthday and surprise me early on the birthday party over the weekend. Shout out to you guys. I'm sure only a handful of you are only watching this video, but shout out to everybody. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with your friends. Be sure to follow me on Instagram. That link's in the description down below. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and get on out of here. So as always, guys, stay tuned for more, and I'll see you guys next time.